On this day in history, October 7th, 1571, the Battle of Lepanto is fought, and the Ottoman Navy suffers its first defeat. Included in the following is an excerpt from the 1944 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica, going over the history of the battle. The Battle of Lepanto was fought on October 7th, 1571, between the forces of the Christian League and Turkey. The League had been formed mainly by the efforts of Pope Pius V, to whom Venice had appealed against the constant depredations of the Turk, culminating in their seizure of Cyprus, and its naval forces were supplied mainly by Venice and Spain, the former having Barbarigo and Venerio as their principal admirals, the latter the Marquis of Santa Cruz. There was also a small squadron from the Papal States, commanded by Colonna, and a Genoese squadron under Andrea Doria. The total Christian force numbered over 300 ships, including 8 galleasses and some 208 galleys. The supreme command was given to Don John of Austria. The Allies concentrated at Messina, the Turk making no attempt to intercept a Venetian squadron which had to join them from the eastern Mediterranean. Thence they proceeded to the Gulf of Lepanto, where the Turkish force from the Aegean awaited them. The Turks, 300 strong, including over 250 galleys, were drawn up just inside the Gulf, stretching nearly from shore to shore. The commander-in-chief, Ali Pasha, was in the center, and the right and left were commanded by Mohammed Sirocco and Ulugh Ali, respectively. The Allies had to deploy round the headland on the northern side of the Gulf, and then the galleasses, leading, descended in line abreast on the Turk. On the two flanks they were not immediately successful. Barbarigo, on the left, came under the full fire of the Turks as he deployed, while Ulugh Ali completely outmaneuvered the Christian right. Pretending to outflank his foe, he induced Andrea Doria to part company with his center and broke through the gap so created, the situation only being saved by the foresight of Santa Cruz with the reserve squadron. In the center, however, the Christians achieved great success. Ali Pasha's galley was captured and his squadron utterly beaten. Panic spread to other Turkish squadrons, and the greater part of their fleet was taken or destroyed, Ulugh Ali alone escaping with some of his ships. The battle was remarkable in two ways. First, as the last great battle in which both sides used oar-propellered vessels. Secondly, for its enormous casualties, reckoned at various figures. The Christians had some 8,000 men killed and double that number wounded, while the Turks had about 25,000 killed and an unknown number wounded. Further, some 15,000 Christians in the Turkish galleys were liberated from slavery.